Welcome to Africa Insight. In this week's video, we discuss one story, and that's a story in Mozambique. A recent spike in insurgency in northern Mozambique has put the spotlight back on the insurgency-hit province of Cabo Delgado and has raised questions about Total Energy's suspended LNG mega project on the border with Tanzania. So, Louw, what's the latest and what can you tell us about the situation?
Right, so the latest news from Cabo Delgado center on the insurgent foray into the southern parts of the province and the district of Chiure, where militant activity has been relatively low. Recall, Jervin, that Mozambique LNG is located in the Palma district, the Rovuma Basin, right up top, and the Palma and neighboring Mozambique de Praia districts are where the Rwanda Defense Force deployment has been focusing its efforts since late 2021. The most insecure part of the province is the next district over, Makomia, which used to be the responsibility of the SADC mission in Mozambique, SAMIM. Now, militants have made good use of the cover provided by the Katupa forest there, but recent offensives by the Mozambican and Rwandan forces has seen militants expand their activities into other parts of the province to avoid run-ins, especially with the better resourced Rwandans. So I often remind people Cabo Delgado is vast. It's about the same size as Ireland, and the military deployments are often focused on larger urban centers, highways, and projects like Mozambique LNG, leaving much of the province vulnerable. And so in late July, a group of militants, maybe 60 strong, made their way south from Makomia to the town of Chiure. They experienced little resistance, mainly from pro-government Naparama militiamen, and they ended up occupying the town for almost a week before the military reinforcements arrived. Reports say 28 people were killed, and aid agencies say that 50,000 people were displaced by the violence.
Oh, that sounds bad, Louw. So has the security situation improved or gotten worse in 2025?
I think we've seen a slight improvement in 2025 and significant enough improvement in the Palma and Mozambique de Praia districts for Total Energies to start preparing to restart construction. However, there have been significant attacks. Some have gotten more media attention than others. In May, for instance, militants killed 4 Rwanda Defense Force soldiers in Mozambique de Praia, a rare defeat for the well-resourced Rwandans, and a month later they killed 30 Mozambican Defense Armed Forces soldiers in Makomia, showing that they maintained both the capacity and the appetite to attack security forces and not just their usual targets, that being undefended civilians. International media also jumped on another attack in April when militants ventured into the Niassa Special Reserve, a conservation area that straddles Cabo Delgado and neighboring Niassa province, raiding hunting concessions, preparing for the upcoming season. The targets were carefully chosen. There were only rangers were present at the time, stockpiling food, fuel, vehicles, field radios, things like that are very useful to militants. But of course the brutality of the insurgents were once again on display. Several rangers were killed and some were decapitated.
Also, we always know in politics that there's also a link between security and economics. So what does this mean for Total Energies and its business?
So I think Total Energies have been talking for quite some time about restarting this project. It is a massive project and an important one for them, but the security situation has been only been one of the challenges that they're facing. The project was shuttered in 2021, and now restarting it has also involved them having to get recommitment from their financiers. More recently, I think in April, the US Import Bank then recommitted to the project. That was quite a big chunk of change, and they're getting some of their other smaller financiers now to re-sign up to the project. You also have to renegotiate contracts with your suppliers. Costs have gone up, but Total Energy CEO Puane has been quite vocal about restarting and had a meeting with Daniel Chapo in July. He's been waiting for the political situation in Mozambique to kind of normalize, I guess, after a contested election and the massive violence that followed. And all the noises from the involved parties were that they were keen on getting back to it. A decision is expected by the end of this month. But then again, militants know that as well. They also read the paper. And if there is a spike in violence or perhaps strategic attacks, it might be with militants specifically hoping to scupper the project now that it's at this crucial stage.
Sure. Well, that's interesting. I think let's leave it at that. Thank you for joining Africa Insight this week. If you'd like more information on our products or services, please visit our website or socials.